Arashi, Prince of the Sky. Chapter 28, Family Affair. Yo, it's hotter than a slug slithering in the desert on the hottest day of life in the summer on the sun. Can we go now, please? What are we here for? God damn!
Shamari, why don't you go find us some water, okay?
The siblings were waiting outside the Fez airport. Not much to see, but miles of desert heat. It was extremely hot, and Shamari's endless babbling and complaining did not help her mood in the least bit. Yo, Nana, just tell me, what time were they supposed to get here? I know you told me before, just tell me one more time. Just one more time. She ignored him again. A few moments later, she saw who they were waiting for, walking out of the TSA line. Bermatrice was dressed in all red jalabia, adorned with gold rose petals cascading down her hips. Her long locks were pulled in a tight ponytail, trailing behind her. And Bishop was in his favorite dark purple trench coat, black tank, and black torn jeans. They both seemed to have enjoyed their plane ride thoroughly. Burmy spotted them and said something to Bishop, who in turn laughed out loud. Nanabe glared at them, as Shamari waved back like a big kid. How could they be making jokes at a time like this?
Oh my goodness, what a pleasant surprise running into you two on the other side of the world.
Burmy's tone let Nanabe know that she definitely had too many drinks on the plane ride here. She had a big smile on her face. She knew she wasn't supposed to be here, but classic Burmy always did what she wanted to do and made sure she wasn't sober doing it. Nanabe knew that once Burmy had even a sliver of information, she would involve herself, which also included Bishop, and that only made things more complicated for her.
Don't look so sour, Cher. Hey, guess what? We made a bet to see if you'd meet us here. I won. Come on, give us a hug, since you're a cat burglar and all. It's the least you can do.
Bishop dropped his bags and scooped Nanabe into his massive arms.
Bishop, please, it's too hot for this.
She winced at his words, but it was true. She deserved to be shunned by them. Instead, they embraced her. He was still as strong as an ox, and Nanabe had to compose herself quickly before they thought she might be going easy on them for completely disregarding her warning to stay away.
Well, I'm happy to see you. Bump her. What up, Mama B? You looking good, girl. Digging the dress and Papa B. Yeah. Words cannot describe your basicness,
Shamari said, swooping Burmy into a big old hug. Bishop laughed at his dig and slapped him in the back of the head.
Aw, Shy, you're the sweetest when you want to be.
She was squeezing his cheeks, but then she noticed that he was going through her purse that hung by her hip.
Hey, Mama B, you got any gum in here, girl? I need to chew something.
Boy, if you don't get the hell up out my purse, what is wrong with you?
She swatted his hand away and pushed him back.
Hey, you gentle fellows. Go get the rest of our bags or something. Please and thank you very much.
Okay. All right, come on. Bend that key, old man. Come on. We gotta get your defibrillator out of your suitcase.
Bishop simply slapped Shamari on the back of the head as they made their way to the baggage claim. Nanabe turned to Burmy and crossed her arms, giving her the "I know you know what you did" look.
Oh, Nana, don't look at me like that. You already knew what the deal was.
Nanabe couldn't muster up anything to say back to her. The mere fact that they were there meant that their demise was upon them. Tears started to well in her eyes. She didn't want them there, for more reasons than one, but mainly because she didn't want to lose them.
Hey, honey, look, whatever happens, it's not your fault. I'd rather be here fighting alongside my family than at home twiddling my thumbs and playing Connect 4. I'm in it to win it, and I'll be a troll in Central Park if I let my family fight battles that benefit me without me? Hell nah!
Nanabe just shook her head. Tears started to fall down her cheeks. She was so proud of Burmy. She's looked up to her from the moment they met. The idea of losing her was painful. Even though she'd seen it in her dreams, it was still hard to think about. But what was even worse was the possibility of Burmy finding out the things that she had been a part of. Losing her to death was one thing, but losing her in life was another altogether. Bishop and Shamari were returning with the luggage when her phone began to ring. It was Franck. She signaled to Burmy to hold her thoughts for a moment while she took the call.
Talk to me.
We lost them. They ran into some trouble in the heart of the city, massive commotion, snakes everywhere, and there was an explosion. Once the smoke cleared, they were gone. Tracking devices shut down and overall communication was lost.
Franck was a bit frantic. He and Martin were hiding out inside of an abandoned merchant shop, looking out over the field where they last saw them.
There's this crazy kid on fire, just waiting outside a pair of big iron doors. We believe they're inside there. What would you have us do?
They won't be coming out until they've received the power of the crystals. Once they come out, Fear will be waiting for them. Stay out of sight. We will be headed to your location ASAP.
Roger that.
Fear will be waiting for who? Where's Ari? Where's my son? I ain't playing with you no more.
Relax, B. Everything's under control. As of right now, Ari is going through transformation.
Transformation? What transformation?
The transformation is necessary for defeating Fear. Now come on, guys. We have to get back to the Medina as soon as we can.
Nanabe left the conversation there and turned around to try to get a cab.
Oh, no. Hold up, Asher. We got us a rental. It should be pulling up. Ah, here it is right now.
Bishop said as a Ford Jeep truck swiveled through several cars and stopped abruptly in front of their crew. A very small man hopped out of the truck and rushed around to stand in front of Bishop. He was about 4 feet tall.
Here are your keys, Mr. Bishop. Thank you for everything. Thank you.
The little man said something else in Arabic, then handed Bishop the keys and ran off down the block.
What in the Lucky Charms was that about?
Yeah, this old man's living life. You get lifelong friends when you stick your neck out for people. Well, most of the time.
Well, I call shotgun! Shamari yelled, about to sprint to the front, but Burmy caught him by the collar and tugged him backwards.
Boy, if you don't get your ass in the back, quit playing. Get them damn bags for your mama, please.
Dang, you know what? Y'all lucky I'm a strong-ass individual because all this abuse, all of it, is on a whole nother level, y'all.
Shy, shut up and get in the car.
Nanabe wished so badly that she had a dart gun just to knock him out for a few hours.
Man, whatever. Y'all savage.
Bishop started the Jeep, and Nanabe pulled up directions to the Medina. The sun was beginning to set, and the moon was almost full, which meant they didn't have much time left. Nanabe's phone began to ring again. It was the general, and they explained briefly to her that the remaining soldiers were in position to storm the city when the time came.
Okay, perfect. How many casualties?
She immediately regretted asking, but she needed to know, so she would have an idea of how many allies they had left. There was a slight pause on the line. Her heart was skipping beats.
No need to concern yourself with that. We have enough to complete the mission.
She heard the words, but she also heard all the doubt in their voice. She's never heard Cox have any doubt in their position. Ever.
Please, tell me. I need to know.
We lost half. The enemy came hard. However, it doesn't change a thing. We have enough to complete the mission. This is a part of the job. And while Fear might have won the battle, it will not win the war. I promise you that.
Nanabe covered her mouth to stifle the gasp that escaped. She couldn't believe half of those kids were killed, and in the first 24 hours of that, she felt horrible, like she was personally responsible for their deaths. After all, she brought them here. As far as she was concerned, it was her fault. Her head started pounding as the weight of the mission was finally starting to come down on her.
Nanabe, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
She took several deep breaths to pull herself together.
Roger that, General. Root will prevail.
Be well.
You too.
She said to the deadline. She dropped the phone to her lap. Taking deep, slow breaths, she tried to calm her mind, bringing her back to a place of mission and intention. All that she was doing was for the greater good. Everything she's worked so hard for her entire life was about this moment. Sacrifice was a part of that mission. She stopped breathing for a moment. As much as she told herself it was necessary, she couldn't get past that word, sacrifice. It wasn't her life that was sacrificed. It was those kids. How could she get past that part? She bit her lip.
Hey, take a swig of this, Cher. It'll help take some of the edge off.
Bishop hands her a silver flask. She smiles and takes it. But when she put it to her lips, she coughed heavily.
Go slow, honey bun. That ain't your regular whiskey bourbon right there.
How'd you get this past security?
What you mean, Cher? I'm the bishop. Daddy's got credit cards and cash. And anybody could get paid off to shut up and mind their business.
I know that's right.
Burmy took the flask and drank a little herself.
This was the only way I could maintain my composure on that plane. You know I've never flown before.
No, I never knew that. But you managed to hop on a 12-hour flight within 24 hours to Africa, of all places.
Well, you know I would do anything for my babies. My babies. These are my babies.
Yeah, her babies, yeah. Mama B, let me get some.
No. Don't think so, buddy. Next time.
Dang, y'all are so cold.
Talk to me.
We have a problem.
No kidding. Now what is it?
Well, we got golem problems. This massive monster just burst out from the ground like a fucking ninja turtle. It's huge, Nanabe. Looks like they're gonna use it to try and break down those doors.
Frank said, as he watched the golems thrashing on the doors of the cathedral. So far, it was having no effect, but he knew it wouldn't last for too long.
Shit. Okay, we're on our way. Bishop, step on it. We're running out of time.
Roger that, Shea.
Bishop put the jeep in high gear, and Anabe took out her small bag of crystals and dropped the contents into the palm of her hand. She needed to talk to Ishara. The crystals would help enhance her powers, enough to reach the stars. She closed her eyes and sent her spirit searching for Ishara's. She opened her mind's eye and was seeing the world through her eyes. She was gliding over the Medina, looking down at the chaos below.
Ishara, what are we dealing with?
It's a crystal golem. Pure ancient beings from the depths of the earth. They were formed by us, the elementals, to help protect the earth from Fear and his army thousands of years ago. They are nearly indestructible, quite stupid and easily manipulated, which is why we buried them in the ground so long ago. But clearly, that was a bad idea.
Okay, well, what are they doing here now?
Well, theory one is that Fear has somehow taken control of them and is now using them to do his bidding because they are impervious to fire, water, metal, and anything you can throw at them. Theory 2 is that they are here because the cathedral has been entered, and they are meant to serve and protect it. That's what they were created for. Clearly the danger to the cathedral right now is the lunatic standing outside of it on fire. It's possible that their polarity is altered, and now perhaps they see good as evil and vice versa. Either way, it's a huge problem.
Okay, so how do we stop them?
I told you they're indestructible. They can't be stopped, only pointed in another direction.
They watched as the crystal golems swung their fists like wrecking balls. People were running out of the Medina in droves, terrified at the sudden appearance of these creatures at their doorsteps.
The cathedral has the greatest cluster of energy on this side of the planet. The barrier around it was meant to keep out evil negative spirits. Like Fear, but the columns aren't evil, they can absorb energy. So it's only a matter of time before they suck up enough energy to destroy the cathedral. You guys have to get here soon.
She said, flying up towards the sun.
What are you doing?
Arashi and Cody are still inside. Their bodies are dormant and will remain that way until they have found what they are looking for. If those things destroy the structure, we lose. I'm gonna try and slow them down.
Her body started to glow in the light. She kept her wings out and rode the wind, circling around and around. Off in the distance, clouds were rolling in, and within a couple minutes, the sky was covered in storm clouds, blocking out the sun. Then, one by one, the rain began to fall, until the entire city was experiencing a flash rainstorm.
It may be impervious to water, but the rain will slow it down for just a bit.
Brilliant. We'll be there as soon as we can. Stay safe.
Nana, energy never dies. It only changes.
Nanabe sat with her thoughts as she watched the storm clouds roll in. End of chapter 28.